What's up, YouTube? Team Movies here with that new Netflix series, The Island, premiering this Thursday.
Oh, that's so epic.
Since the show, of course, is about people being stranded on a desert island, I decided to do my top 10 favorite movies where people are, of course, stranded on a desert island. Now, I probably could have done TV shows as well, but there's not really many TV shows where that features islands other than maybe Lost, or obviously, or or Gulliver's Travel. That's another one I probably could have had, but I'm only doing a film list of this. So with that being said, here is my top 10 favorite stuck on a stranded island films. Alright, coming in at number 10 is going to be the film Swiss Army Man. Alright, now, this of course is an A24 release, which I love A24's work, but Swiss Army Man has got to be the weirdest movie you ever want to see. I mean, it's where this like a young man named Hank, played by Paul Dano, who ends up getting stuck on a stranded island, and he wants to commit suicide and all. But he ends up spotting a man played by Harry Potter star Dan Radcliffe, and turns out that Radcliffe's character is actually dead in this film, and in order for him to swim ashore, he literally has to kind of go on Radcliffe's character's back and kind of use him as a raft, if you will. And they also throughout the whole film, they also bond as well. I mean, he pretty much bonds with a dead corpse, and the way he gets ashore is he literally rides a floating corpse. I'll just put it there. Yeah, that's how he gets ashore. It's a weird film, but it's actually really good. I mean, great performances by Paul Dano. Daniel Radcliffe was great. You also had Mary Elizabeth Winstead was in this. It was the directorial debut by Dana Kwan and Daniel Sinart, who, of course, the co-director Daniel, he has that new movie coming out by A24 called The Death of Dick Long, which looks weird too. I mean, these are some weird directors, but I mean, Swiss Army Man is kind of a really intriguing film. I mean, it's weird, but pretty good. I mean, you got Dan Radcliffe as a going from Harry Potter to a floating corpse. What more can you ask for there? Of course, Paul Dano's great. I mean, if you guys haven't really seen Swiss Army Man, like I said, it's weird, but it's pretty decent. All right, coming in at number 9 is going to be Robinson Crusoe. Now, of course, this is based on a book and all, and it stars Dano, and of course stars Dan O'Harley as the tired character of Robinson Crusoe, who ends up being stranded on a desert island, and he must find a way to survive only using a few of salvages, supplies, and weapons and all. And so he also rescues a dog and a cat, who also pretty much keeps him company and all, and so he also ends up rescuing he also ends up rescuing a cannibal as well, and so yeah, he also gains a new friend too in the cannibal played by Jamie Fernandez. I mean, this movie it's a 1960s, I believe it got released in 1960s or 70s, one of the two. But I remember watching this on, I think it was CC at one time. It's a pretty decent little flick. I mean, it's kind of a classic one. They, of course, rebooted it years back with Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan started in a rebooted version of this. But the original is pretty weird. I mean, he ends up befriending with animals in this. He ends up befriending with he, of course, ends up befriending with a cannibal. So, and he has to try to find his way back home as well. It's a pretty decent little flick. If you guys never seen Robinson Crusoe, give that one a shot. It's a pretty good one. Alright. Coming in at number 8 is going to be Journey to the Mysterious Island. of course, this is the sequel to Journey, the Center of the Earth film, which is of course, based on a book and all. And it stars Josh Hudson as this 17-year-old named as a character Sean Anderson, who's now 17 and all, and he ends up receiving like a distress signal from a island where like no one should go to, and so like he ends up going to the island with his stepfather named Hank, played by Dwayne Johnson, who ends up joining who they end up joining to go on a quest to the Pacific, and they end up together. They end up being strapped on a desert island with a helicopter pilot named Jabata, played by Luis Guzman, as well as his daughter named Kalini, played by Vanessa Hudgens, and they had to like pretty much set out to pretty much find Sean's grandfather, played by the great Michael Caine. The movie was directed by Brad Payton, who also directed Dwayne Johnson in Rampage. Journey 2 was a pretty fun, entertaining flick. I probably even prefer this over the Brendan Fraser flick. I mean, it's cool how you go from Brendan Fraser to Dwayne Johnson. That was pretty cool there. And Josh Hudson's chemistry with Vanessa Hudgens was great. Vanessa Hudgens was really great in this too. I really quite liked Hudgens here. The movie got released in 2012. I remember watching this on the big screen, and I quite really got a kick out of it. I mean, it's such a really entertaining, fun flick. And I'm still a little disappointed we never got to see a third installment of the Journey films. But if you guys never seen Journey 2, with Dwayne Johnson and Josh Hudson, give that one a go. It's really good. And like I said, I actually prefer this over the Brendan Fraser one, believe it or not. So and Luis Guzman, by the way, was great in this too. So and of course they're trying to find Michael Caine's character, and after that trying to get offshore and get off the island and all. And Michael Caine was cool here. Like, it was pretty cool seeing Michael Caine's interaction with Dwayne Johnson. That's kind of an interaction I never thought I ever wanted. But anyway, if you guys never see Journey 2, it's really fun. I still wish we got Journey 3, but I don't think that will ever happen. Alright, coming in at number 7 is going to be the Disney family classic, Swiss Family Robinson. Now, of course, it's about this family name, who are, of course, the Robinson, played by, Dorothy McGuire plays the mother, John Mills plays the father, and their 3 sons, named Fritz, Ernest, and Francis, are pretty much, trying to have start fresh in this place called in the island of Guayana, and so their ship ends up getting damaged, and the Robinson family, of course, gets stuck on a stranded island, and they had to learn to they of course had to try to find ways to survive and learn to live in the wild, and it's a pretty interesting classic family flick. Like this is, of course, it is a Disney classic, you know. And I mean, I really quite like the family dynamic chemistry with the cast. Like, you could really they weren't really related in real life, but you could literally they literally made you think that they were actually a real life family and all. And the Swiss Family Robinson, it's a really good one. I mean, it's of course based on a book as well. Yeah, if you guys, and I'll be down to see a retelling or reboot of Swiss Family Robinson if they ever announce one. But if you guys never seen Swiss Family Robinson by now, it's a classic. I mean, it's not really that well known of a Disney film or anything, but it's still pretty decent. Alright, coming in at number 6 is a really funny one, and that's going to Broken Lizard Club Dread. Now, this is a slasher horror comedy from the Broken Lizard gang, who also gave us Super Troopers and all. And It's where these groups of people on a island resort, and on the island there's a serial killer who's terrorizing the residents, and one of them is played by Bill Paxton, who pretty much is a major singer, and of course Bill Paxton's character is of course named Coconut Pete, who also has who had like a hit record, and now he's on the island, and he pretty much spends his day in like a hammock and sing cool songs. I I mean I really love Broken Lizard Club Dread. This is probably my favorite movies from the. This is probably my favorite movie from the Broken Lizard Gang. I mean, lots of people probably say their favorite would be Super Troopers or Beer Fest or anything, but I really get a kick out of Club Dread. I mean, this is a really funny slasher horror comedy, if you will. Of course, it was directed and starred Jay Chandrasekhar. The other club, Broken Lizard Gang, was pretty funny. I mean, Bill Paxton as Coconut Pete. I quite love Bill Paxton as this role. I mean, everyone who thinks of Bill Paxton would think of probably Aliens or Top Gun. No, yeah, not Top Gun. Top Secret, I think is, or I mean, I don't remember other Bill Paxton roles. Oh, people also probably think of True Lies or whatever. I'm not gonna lie. When I think of Bill Paxton, I think of his role as Coconut Pete in Club Dread. It's dumb. Yes, it's a really dumb flick, but it's really dumb fun, and yeah, if you guys haven't really seen Broken Lizard Club Dread by now, give that one a shot. It's such a funny and fun flick. All right. Coming in at number 5 is Going to the Beach. Directed by Danny Boyle. Of course, The Beach is about this young guy played by Leonardo DiCaprio who ends up pretty much ends up arriving in Thailand, and he has like adventure on mind, and so like he pretty much ends up being joined by these two people named Attorney. And I can never really pronounce these characters' name, but the characters he end up traveling with is played by Galamai Kennett and Virgin Lidoline, and they pretty much take him on adventure to the beach, which is a mythical paradise, and people on there is not really what you call great, really. I mean, they're not really the best people on that island. So of course, Leo DiCaprio's character is trying to go off the island and all that, and there's also conflicts that happen between the characters here. I mean, the beach is lots of people probably say this is Danny Boyle's worst film, but I quite get a kick out of the beach. I mean, of course, it has a really cool. Of course, it has a really cool lake scene between DiCaprio and Virginia's character. Not going into any details, but if you guys seen that scene, you'll know what I'm talking about. Of course, he had Tilda Swinton was great in this. Really great cast, and I think it's probably Danny Boyle's most underrated and underappreciated film. I mean, it is also based on a book that's written by Alex Garland, who also, by the way, directed Ex Machina. So there's that too. I really like the chemistry with the cast. Like I said, Tilda Swinton was pretty great here. Like, if you guys never seen The Beach by now, do yourself a favor, go check out. Wait. Anyway, as I was saying, if you guys never seen The Beach with Leo DiCaprio, definitely check that one out. It's a really good one. All right. Now coming in at number 4 is going to be the original Lord of the Flies. Now there was like a reboot of it that got released in the 90s, but I quite like the 1960s original instead. Of course, Lord of the Flies is based on a book by William Golding, and it's about these English boys who, of course, ends up getting stranded on a desert island. and they pretty much force her into like a disarray, and they end up like I mean they end up being on the island with no adult survivors, nothing, so they gotta try to learn to survive and all. I mean, Lord of the Flies is one crazy film. I mean, for a 1960s film, this is more like more weird, like more like weird, like Lord of the Flies is a weird film, but and it's actually pretty intense than you expect. Now, I remember reading the book one time, back at school and all, but I really quite like the film version a lot more. I mean, I really like the chemistry with the cast in this. It's directed by Peter Brook, who I thought did a good job. The lead is played by James Aubrey, who did pretty good here. I mean, yeah, it had some really interesting. Lots of these people were like newcomers at the time, so there's that. I mean, Lord of the Flies, it's a really decent classic film, and if you got, and of course, it's kind of like I guess you could say like Goonies if they were on a stranded island, if you really want to look at it that way too. But yeah, if you guys never seen the original Lord of the Flies, definitely give that one a go. It's a classic. All right. Anyway, all right. All right, my number. All right, my number three favorite movie where people are stranded on a desert island. Obviously, my number three pick is gonna be an island that features full of dinosaurs. My number three favorite stranded island movie is going to Jurassic Park. I mean, I was really not sure if I was gonna add this or not, but really, if you look at Jurassic Park, is a stranded island movie. They of course go on a island, and there's like and they're surrounded by dinosaurs on the desert island, and they're trying to get off and all. I mean, Jurassic Park. It's I love Jurassic Park. Great effects. Directed by the great Steven Spielberg. You got Sam Neill as Dr. Alan Grant, Jeff Goldblum as Ian Malcolm, Laura Dern was in this, Sam Jackson, Richard Attenborough as John Hammond. The dinosaurs, I love how Spielberg made these dinosaurs all look. They all look realistic. And the island, of course, looked really cool. I mean, I believe they shot this in Hawaii, if I'm not mistaken. I can never really remember where they shot this at. But, yeah, the island looked really beautiful. Like, it literally made me... I'm not gonna lie, I would totally travel that island if I could. That looked like a beautiful island right there. And obviously, Jurassic Park is one of the most iconic sci-fi movies of the '90s. It's the effects at that time, like what they did, like how they made these dinosaurs look, were just cool. And yeah, if you guys still never seen Jurassic Park, it's awesome, and definitely one of Spielberg's best work too. So yeah. All right. My number two favorite stranded on an island based movie goes to the Blue Lagoon. Now, Blue Lagoon it's also pretty weird. Kind of like how Lord of the Flies is weird. The premise of Blue Lagoon is weird too. It's of course about these these two cousins who end up getting getting into a like shipwrecked, and their captain ends up dying, and so like they of course end up getting they end up getting trapped on a desert island, and they stay there once they are and once they're like teenagers and all. They the two cousins, pretty much played by Brooke Shields and Christopher Atkins. Let's just say they pretty much end up falling for each other. Yeah, this movie is about two cousins who fall for each other and have a kid with each other. It's actually decent. It's actually a guilty pleasure of mine, but the premise is weird. But if you look at it, it's actually not all half bad. I mean, you got directed by the movie was of course directed by Randall Kleiser, who I thought did a decent job at directing. Brooke Shields and Christopher Atkins both had really great chemistry with each other. Either though they were playing cousins who end up falling for each other, which okay. And I mean, also not to mention Brooke Shields. I can't remember how old she was, but she was pretty young at the time when this movie got made. Like the stuff she had to do with this was very weird for someone at her age at the time. But it's still pretty decent. I mean, I still like the chemistry between the two. You know, of course, it's about romance and relationship and all. Like, it's the premise is weird and all. It's actually a 1980s classic romantic gem. I mean, if you guys never really seen Blue Lagoon by now, it's a really good one. All right. Now, coming in at number one was the best movie where someone is stuck on a stranded island. Obviously, the best one. Anyway, obviously, the best movie where someone is stuck on a stranded island obviously goes. Wait. Alright, sorry about that. Anyway, the number one pick, of course, goes to Castaway. I mean, obviously, this is going to be number one. It's a quintessential of island films. It's actually I think it's the Godfather of island movies. I mean, alright. Castaway. I mean, of course, about this FedEx executive named Chuck Nolan, played by Tom Hanks, who ends up going on a assignment to Malaysia, and his plane ends up getting crashed over the Pacific during a storm. And so, like, he ends up becoming the only survivor, and he gets stuck on a stranded island. And not to mention, his only best friend on the island is a volleyball. Of course, named Wilson. Wilson. I mean, that's an iconic line right there. I mean, the movie, like, Tom Hanks, I thought was great in Castaway. You know, directed by Robert Zemeckis. You also had, Helen Hunt was also in this, but she didn't really have that much to do here because obviously it was mainly Tom Hanks's major flick. But despite his only co-star being a volleyball, I, I really thought, like, whoever knew that Tom Hanks's best chemistry in history would be with a volleyball. I mean, come on. And Castaway, of course, scored Tom Hanks a Oscar nomination, and it was actually the last time he got an Oscar nomination. Hopefully, It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood would change that. But yeah, Castaway. It's one of the most iconic island-based films there is. You know, it's probably one of Tom Hanks's best work. And I'm not gonna lie, the volleyball actually had a great performance too, despite it just being a object. Whoever knew that an object in a film could have a good performance, you know. But yeah, of course, Tom Hanks has to try to find a way to return to civilization and reunite with, himself with his. Of course, he's trying to return to civilization and reunite with his wife as well. And it's a Robert Zemeckis classic. I mean, crazy that this movie actually. Actually, next year, this movie's going to turn 20 years old, so, yeah. Anyway, Castaway, it's a 2000 classic. If you guys never seen Castaway by now, it's a good one. But, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. Alright. 10, Swiss Army Man. 9, Robinson Crusoe. 8, Journey to the Mysterious Island. 7, Swiss Family Robinson. 6, Broken Lizard Club Dread. 5, The Beach. 4, Lord of the Flies. 3, Jurassic Park. 2, The Blue Lagoon. 1, Castaway. Now, there's loads of other ones I probably could have added as well. Let's see. Survivor Island with Billy Zane and Kelly Brook was pretty good. There was also 6 Days and 7 Nights. There's a Battle Royale, Rugrats Go Wild, the Wild Thornberry movies. Definitely not the Madonna classic, Swept Away. There's also Kong Skull Island, King Kong. Some really good ones there. But let me leave to you guys. What are some of your favorite Stranded Island based films? Drop a comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here, C Movie signing off.